Aloha. I wanted to stay on this topic from the last video and expand it into the perspective of the good guy, the superhero villain story that's being played. This is a childlike storyline that's being played on humanity. The reason why the education system is the way it is to keep people at an adolescent mentality, an adolescent vibration. The television, it tells you TV 14, rated R is 17-year-old. This is mind control program to keep you at a childlike energy. So your saviors can be the ones who can be your superheroes against the villain, whatever kind of villain they create for you. And that's the thing. Within this illusory system, you have villains that are created for you. And depending on your level of consciousness, your perspective, your focus, your research, whatever it is, however you buy into the illusion, you will choose who and what your villain is. Meanwhile, your humanity is already being stolen by the inhumane system, which can only be addressed by the empowerment of humanity. So as long as you're caught up in the good guy, bad guy program, what protesting and talking about reptilians and talking about the Zionists and the Jesuits and all that other stuff, not saying that doesn't matter. It's all part of the story. What I'm saying is that you are not empowering yourself. That is the only power that will be able to uproot these illusory systems that have people living dead, that have people walking around asleep, thinking they're engaged because they voted for Obama, thinking they're engaged because they voted for Bernie Sanders, thinking they're engaged because they voted for Hillary Clinton and they didn't vote for Donald Trump, and never my president and always my president. These are fucking slave master mentalities that are being portrayed for you, for your child mind. And since it's on television, and the television is worshipped every day as the human consciousness, that is the way. It's not the internet, because the internet is based upon you actually looking at information based upon what is interesting to you. The actual hive mind, the illusory hive mind that really has control over people, is the mainstream TV, your Netflix, your TV shows, your celebrities, Hollywood. It's all, that's the actual internet, the combination of everything. The internet as a whole is just, and is limited in itself, because you can see it's being filtered. You see what's trending online. You see what is focused on and what information won't be shared. I've seen views on my videos actually go downwards. I've seen so much shit in reference to how censored this program is. It's ridiculous. It's not even funny. It's sad, really. It's truly sad, because this is how far this program has to go. And I'm not the only one. There's people all over the internet that know they're getting censored. They know they're getting filtered. They've done videos about this. But what my main point is that this system has to protect itself by lying to you, by getting you engaged in something that has ultimately nothing to do with humanity. So like in the last video, when I referenced the flat earth versus globe earth, it's a checker game, and it's meant to consume your reality just as much as when I was in the Occupy protest time frame and out there on the streets and doing all this positive stuff. Actually set up a community on the front lawn of the city hall in Oakland. When we were doing all that, we were doing something beautiful. At the same time, our focus was a little bit off, because we were still basing our movement and our actions on an illusion. So this was the bad guy program at that time, were the bankers. And it's like, oh yeah, the banker's banker. But this is all one sliver of the reality. It's all one part of the reality. And if you're caught up in one part of the reality, you will never be able to get out of the box if you're fighting the box from within the box. The only way to get out of that box is to burn that box down completely by expanding your consciousness outside of that box. And this goes for humanity. And in reference to the flat earth, like I said in the last video, that's checkers. If you're just talking about the science of the flat earth in reference to the obvious bullshit of NASA, the obvious bullshit of SpaceX and the Mars program and the lunar, the moon landing and all that other stuff, that shit's obvious. It's already known. The videos that are online now are enough for people to get the gist of how ridiculous this is. So if we get caught up in that spiral and continue to expand that spiral of just flat versus globe, then you're actually going to be setting up the tone for the illusory system to co-opt that storyline, because that's ultimately how this program survives, how the slave program survives. This is why they steal all of the music, they steal all of the art, they steal all of the style and turn it into pop culture. They turn it into a pop thing and make it something that is trendy and hip, so they can make a profit off of it, so they can commercialize it. This people knowing that the flat earth, it exists, is, we have to understand that if you know that that exists, we have to understand that this system is going to eventually adopt it, especially if Neil deGrasse Tyson has already put himself out there. He's already put himself out there. So now all he has to do is really just apologize and say, you know what, we've been, and now he's a fucking superhero. Now everybody's behind him. Same thing goes for Alex Jones. All he has to do is flip the script and say, you know what, I've just uncovered the biggest lie in the universe. I gotta tell you guys. This is huge. Okay, buy my products that are here. But we're gonna put some more commercials up before I say this stuff. We're gonna be right back. But this is the biggest hoax of the entire universe. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All he has to do is say that and come back from a commercial break where he sold you some zombie killing water drops or some shit, whatever the fuck it is he's selling. And he comes back and he says, I gotta tell you guys, I am now on board. The earth is flat. And then boom, there it is. Segue straight into Trump, segue straight into the mainstream media, segue straight into the scientism community. Now they got to answer for this shit. The mainstream media is just blowing up, talking about, oh yeah, these people are crazy, that's fake news. And then just formalize the fake news story. Then Trump he's there as like the linchpin. He's the cornerstone. He's the one who makes it true for people. So if he makes it true for his following, which is largely being portrayed as like a following that really has no education or a limited education. So if people jump on board, because they're just gonna follow him, it doesn't matter what he says. Obviously, he says all kinds of shit. So if you have people with a so-called limited education who are now fully on board with the flat earth model, and they don't even have to look at any of the information or really understand it, they just have to believe it. You just got to believe in change and hope, just like Obama. Believing in change. And then all of a sudden, now it's a big thing. Now what? Now the whole fucking thing is watered down. Now the whole thing is just a big ass fucking show. Now what are you gonna do? Now what happens? Now that system has control of your so-called biggest thing in the universe. Now what? People are still slaves. They're still slaves. So until we start addressing the enslavement of the soul, the mind, and the body, the spiritual warfare, the psychological warfare, and the physical warfare, and the roots, the origins of this program, until we start to address that, we're still going to be fucking dragging around these slave chains. And if you put all of the... See, the flat earth is a basket of eggs. You put all your eggs in one basket. That's it. And if you do that, you're actually setting up the program to expand around you. And that's what they've always done. This is what they did to Egypt. This is what they did when they just conquered everything. They said, "Oh yeah, well, we have the same God. He's just in this book, and he looks this way, and he talks like this." And he said, "Oh, that's good stuff. Oh yeah, why don't you learn this language? Why don't you just live in this house like civilized people, because you're just primitive. You don't start making connections with nature like you do, because that's just old world stuff. We're talking about new world stuff, okay? The new world is about the heliocentric model. The new world is about the university system. The new world is about looking like this, dressing like this, talking like this, and then you have to go to school like this. This is what the status quo is. And if you don't buy into this program, we'll just fucking kill you. You'll just be dead, and your future generations won't be able to survive. Meanwhile, that entire program just expands around the people overall. It's one-dimensional, this approach. Just like this image right here. All of that protesting that was going on, it wasn't televised by the mainstream media. Alternative news, the so-called TYT and so-called aggressive progressives pumped it all up. It did all this shit, and all it took was a fucking signature from an orange asshole to make this thing go even further and just empower the system. See, that's the thing. When you empower the system to have more power over you with a pen, with a swipe of a signature, because you keep living in that system, then you're spinning wheels. So until we understand the system and then understand ourselves, empowering ourselves, and then don't stop there. You have to overstand the understanding and the understanding of everybody and everything, and how this whole thing has been rooted from the get-go. Until that happens, we're just going to be spinning wheels, playing checkers, while the chess games are being played every day. So yeah, the last video was focusing on how the flat earth is going to be easily co-opted. And right now, the people who are putting out these amazing videos are actually doing the work for them. They're doing the work for them, because the main thing that really exists, that really matters, is the consciousness of the people. That's what's really enslaved. It's not the heliocentric model that's enslaving people. It's the people's belief in the heliocentric model and the people who made that heliocentric model. That's the actual slave program. Those are the chains. The idea itself opens the door to you seeing that you're enslaved. But not many people are going to walk through that door until they are empowered to walk through that door. You can show people pictures of the flat earth and they can believe it all they want, but they will still be sitting in that little quiet, safe zone room, never allowing themselves to venture out into actually challenging that reality. And before you can externally challenge the reality, you have to first defeat your own demons on the inside. You have to challenge the internal reality before it happens on the outside. And this is why the New Age agenda is another co-opted program. The New Age program is designed to keep you in that inner standing space. It wants you to stay there, stay safe, stay in the vortex, stay in your zone, stay in your center meditative space, and don't venture out into the overstanding of reality, which will actually empower humanity. They want you to focus all of your energy into the so-called stars, into the extraterrestrials, into the cabal, into the disclosure program, into the secret space program, into your channelers. You channel all of your focus, all of your energy into something that's still outside of you forever. You will never empower yourself. So the New Age has bad guys, and now you are the good guy. Because now you are no longer subjected to the mind control program of politics. You're no longer a Democrat. I used to be a Democrat and Republican, but now I'm a spiritual guide. I am a New Age philosopher. I study Reiki. I play with the chakras. I do yoga. I do hot yoga. I do extreme yoga. Like all this shit. These are escape mechanisms on one part, but ultimately they're just tools. They're tools for you to get closer to your inner self. But that's a trap. If you consume your reality with tools, politics, the United Nations, the Democrats and Republicans, the American Dream, the marriage and reproduction program, the everything that is mainstream. That is a tool to keep you enslaved. Just as much as all of the shit that's in the New Age community is a tool for you to enslave yourself, to keep you from venturing out into the reality outside of your comfort zone. See, when you are a Democrat and a Republican, you're comfortable everywhere because everybody's in that program. Everybody likes watching Friends and Seinfeld and whatever fucking TV shows come on where a lot of people watch that shit. So you're in a crew. So when you release yourself from that mind control program and go into the New Age agenda, you're just joining another crew. Now it's an inner standing crew. And now we're all spiritual. And we're together. And now we're part of the starseed system. Are you an indigo? I'm an indigo too. Do you meditate? I meditate. Have you done ayahuasca? I've done ayahuasca too. Oh my God. We're so family. Like it's just this like it just gets so great. You're just creating another mainstream instead of the regular mainstream media. It's the New Age mainstream media. So the New Age mainstream media is all these stories that are being played. Oh, the secret space program, the disclosure, the cabal, all this shit. This is how this program is being played for you. Ain't no different than TYT telling you to go support the Dakota Access Pipeline and fight the system. Yeah, fight the system. So you get some asshole that just goes up there and signs a paper and says, oh, well, now we have the approval of the president, so fuck off, Native Americans. Fuck off, water. You're just gonna have to suck it up because we're creating good jobs. These are jobs. This is about many jobs, plenty of jobs, fabulous jobs. So many jobs. What about the water? Jobs. That's slavery. That's slave. What about the Native American? Jobs, jobs, jobs. Okay, jobs. That's basically just saying slaves, shut up, slaves, money, slaves. And people ask for that. People want all that garbage. So when you get what you ask for, you get what you ask for. So he's like just like Obama, like I said in early videos, they play these individuals that they put in your face. They play them as the good guy and the bad guy. Because ultimately, when they play them as the good guy and the bad guy, you are powerless. You are hopeless. That's the intention. You are fucking hopeless. Because you thought something was gonna change. You put all of your energy, you gave all of your energy to these slave masters, and you told them, change my reality, King Obama. Change my reality, King Trump. Please save us from this slave program, Mr. Slave Master. You get what you asked for. So if you're asking a Donald Trump for anything, what the hell do you think you're gonna get? You're gonna get some shit from a used car salesman that, yeah, he's like the president of used car sales lots. That's who he is. And you'll get that kind of sales. And Obama was a law professor, he studied law. So if you're studying law in a colonial program, then you're gonna get somebody who's very intricate. He's very versed in the manipulating of the system. That was his intention. And obviously, he's a so-called black man. So he was the first black man president. That's like 80% of the job done. Oh, first, and he's smart, and he's for the people. He wants hope and change. Shit, you don't even have to fucking do anything. You can walk right in there. And that's how it was played. Because these so-called presidents are just selected. They're chosen. So back to the purpose, or not purpose, but the focus of this video is the bad guy program. So the bad guy program is what keeps you hopeless and powerless. So for the flat earth community, who are the bad guys? Obviously, the globetards and the globe heads and the scientism, the professors, the old system, like the people who are making a profit off of the heliocentric model. Those are the bad guys. Okay, now all the bad guys have to do is say, we're not bad guys anymore. We're good guys. Because obviously the heliocentric model was the bad guy system. Now it's all about the flat earth. Hooray! We did it. Thanks, Alex Jones. Thanks, Donald Trump. Thanks, YouTubers who led the way to unlocking this system. Now we're gonna do with it whatever the fuck we want. So, fuck you. Have a nice day. Thanks for working for nothing and doing the job that we could have never done. That's the thing. The system. The YouTubers making videos about the flat earth are doing the jobs that the mainstream media could have never done. Because if they would have come out with that information the way, it wouldn't be the same. Because these are actual people who are doing this research and information online. They're actual people, human beings. See, if you put it on a television show, it doesn't have the same effect. It's tainted already. It'll smell like shit. It'll just be, something will be fishy about it. So they'll know something's off here. But now you got the YouTubers who do it, then it segues into Alex Jones, and then it automatically leaks to Donald Trump because of the relationship between Alex Jones and Donald Trump. So now, poof, everything is all good because the platform of fake and real news has already been set. And now we already know, and Donald Trump, what did he say? You guys are fake news. You're fake news, CNN. And what's he doing? Sitting on CNN talking about, Great jobs, great jobs. These are jobs, fabulous, wonderful, amazing jobs. Go forward with Keystone Pipeline. Now, what's the difference? So, yeah, it won't have that same flavor. It'll have some kind of new flavor because the conspiracy theorists are now talking about it. It's not the globalists that are talking about it. That's the Alex Jones program. The globalists, those are the ones who are beating down the system. So now it makes it even more obvious that he's going at that he would eventually go flat earth because he's been making his money off of coming down on the globalists, and all he has to do is light a fire under Trump's ass. This is all the opera. This is all the show. Donald Trump, the earth is flat. When are you going to say something about it? You need to say something about this and fight the globalists. Otherwise, you're just one of them. Ah! Like, he can go off on his emotional shit, which all these people are just going to fucking soak it up. And then, yeah, so that's how I'm seeing this big bad guy, good guy story is being played and can be played. Because these are all just puppets. Every one of them are puppets up there. And it's a very intricate program. So, Alex Jones, he goes flat earth. He then forces Donald Trump to go flat earth. Then the whole system is behind the so-called flat earth from an American dream perspective, and now the United States heads up the entire flat earth movement from the mainstream perspective. Then it goes into Hollywood, then it goes into TV and Netflix and all this other bullshit. And then they just co-opt the internet, they co-opt YouTube completely, and all the videos and the information from YouTube, they just start playing it on Netflix. See, they're already doing this shit with Netflix. Netflix is another segue. Netflix is playing these documentaries like Zeitgeist, and they're playing all these documentaries that are, it's largely just like they're playing all of the roles, really. They're playing all of the shit that has you heavily mind controlled, and then they're also releasing some of the information that cracks the door to piecing this stuff together. But since you're just so distracted by Netflix and chill, and Netflix, you know, it's just another cartoon for you to watch and be entertained by, you don't really connect the dots between all of this stuff to see the bigger pictures. And at the same time, subconsciously, you think things are changing because this information didn't used to be shared before. Things must be changing. I'm glad the people are waking up. They are not waking up. It's the illusion of waking up when it's being played on Netflix, because people are not empowering. The true awakening is when you empower yourself out of the slave program. If you're so-called waking up inside a box of enslavement, your ass is still asleep. You're still asleep. Whatever the fuck that means. If you're still giving your power away, then you're not awake. Your eyes still got crust in them. You're still in a dream. That's what it actually is. You're still living another person's dream. You're living something else's dream. This is what all this bad guy, good guy programming is. And this is how it's going to expand and be co-opted. Just like Oprah is co-opting the new age. And Alex Jones will eventually co-opt the flat earth, and then Trump will co-opt Alex Jones and the flat earth, and then that will just make it mainstream. And now you have your storyline of the good guys against the bad guys, the flat earthers, mainstream flat earthers now against the globalists. Yes, finally coming together. This is the biggest hoax and deception ever. We're finally gonna defeat the globalist. But they had to set it up politically first. They had to set the tone with that. And now Trump he's playing that role, the good guy and the bad guy. He did the TPP. Now you got Democrats don't know what the fuck to do. They're talking about, I was against TPP too, so he is doing a good job. And then now what you got? Dakota Access Pipeline, full throttle. Fuck the indigenous people. Fuck water. We're just gonna get some motherfucking jobs in here. Kiss my ass, Native America. And then what are you gonna say when that's signed and passed, and then you get distracted by something bigger like flat earth or something like that? That's how this system works. They pump in all of this shit and then distract you. They put it under they slide it in underneath, so where you can't see it. Like when they sign all this stuff, like the Federal Reserve shit was signed on like Christmas, on Jekyll Island and all that shit. They do all this stuff to distract you. Like Obama, he was the same thing. He represents the same thing. They slid him in underneath the radar, and then they did all of this drone striking garbage shit underneath this smile and this charisma, and you just ate it up because you focused on your emotional body and the perspective of his personality. You don't realize that the job he was meant to do, because we're still in that box. So you have the good guys and the bad guys, and whatever your level of consciousness is, you will choose it. So when I talk about some things on a particular scale, I get attacked sometimes by people who are saying, well, this is the real problem. We need to really do this. And like they're talking about whatever it is they're talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm just specifically talking about this right now, and I have addressed this stuff in previous videos and so on and so forth. Point being, people play and watch their own movie. And when you get caught up in one movie, you don't understand the alchemy of the movie theater, and you don't understand the actual alchemy of the experiencer sitting in that movie theater. That's your true power, to realize the system and the movie. So that overstanding is to reconnect with your humanity. So if we're caught up in talking about, well, it's the Zionists, they control everything. It's the politics, it's the globalists, they control everything. It's the reptilian humanoids of Babylonian brotherhood, they control everything. It's like you're caught up in that program. What are you going to do about it? That's always going to be the question. If the reptilian humanoids and the Babylonian Brotherhood exist, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Where is your power? You can sit around and yell and talk about all this shit all you want. But your intention lies in your so-called forward progress. Where are you really coming from? What are you saying is in reference to such a topic? You can talk about the Zionists forever. You can talk about politics forever. They've already established their power over you. So your power is set in understanding your roots, reconnecting with your power that exists outside of their illusions. So how are you going to tap into that? How? Because if we constantly just point the finger at the bad guys, oh, the globalists, oh, the Zionists, oh, the reptilians, oh, the cabal, the ET, the negative forces, the people who are holding back technology in the government. See, that's what all this fucking new age bullshit is about. Channeling your energy into the system. It's like, I can't wait for disclosure to happen when our slave masters start telling us about technology, when they start telling us about the ETs. This is why the new age can't say shit about the flat earth, because they are still existing in that heliocentric illusion. They will never go into that. This is another extension. The new age and the ET disclosure and the the cabal focus and all that shit, that ain't no different than Oprah getting behind Eckhart Tolle and all this other shit. It's the same program. Good guys and bad guys. Whatever you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with this, then you can consume it. You can steal your own time. And they'll just sell you the future. And they constantly sell you the future. NASA sells you the future of going to Mars. Politics sells you the future of, getting good jobs. Basically, obvious slavery, paid slavery. Hope and change was sold with Obama. The awakening of humanity. When the lion sleeps no more. With David Icke, And we start really talking about the reptilians in the White House and the Queen of England and all this other shit. Like, what are you gonna do once that stuff starts to get released? That's the main point. That's where your true power lies. So that makes this new age program even more obvious when you see it from that perspective. Another way the good guy, bad guy program is played is with science versus religion. Religion is obviously a mind control program from all the way back in the day, no difference than the science religion of today. Back in the day, it was Christianity and all the other mainstream religions that make you filter your connection to the Most High through something else, whether it's a book, a church, a preacher, a pastor, a demigod, whatever it is. There's something in between you and your spirit and the Most High Spirit. There's something else there. It needs to be complex. Just like the heliocentric model was simple enough to understand, like it's simple enough to understand God and Jesus, but the complexities of it are held up in these books, and like the Bible, and the complexities of science are held up in these books that are only released to people who can pay for the university system degrees, and they know all of this astrophysics and quantum physics, and they know about all this, light years and all this other stuff. That's how this system keeps people existing in the future. And like, that's so-called success. To be in the church for 50, 80 years of your life, you're successful. To be a professor of astrophysics for 50 years of your life, that's successful. So it's sold to us the way the politics, the mainstream media in Hollywood sells you everything. All these movies that are demonizing millions of people. You have Donald Trump out there actually using the terms radical Islamic terrorism. And then, boom. Now, millions of people are walking around saying that's okay. Anybody who follows or has any connection with Islam is a fucking terrorist. That's a problem. It's a cartoon mentality. It's adolescent and it's dangerous. But it's the same guy. Since Trump plays the good guy and the bad guy. They play their own. The commercial version is to play their own good guy and bad guy. So in order to make themselves out to be the heroes, the cowboys and the Indians. So their bad guy back in the day was Al-Qaeda and Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi and the war on terrorism. The bad guy before that were so-called African Americans and the lazy black people who are just a burden on society, and that was actually law. It was illegal back then. So it's just expanding. It's getting more intricate. And the people who are going to believe it, they're just going to continue to watch that movie and play that movie out in their regular life. So you have the good guy and bad guy that's being played out and amplified. Netflix makes you believe in the scientism religion. And it makes you demonize religion, but you're actually demonizing your spiritual connection. That's the spiritual warfare. You demonize your own spirit. This is because the scientism community is inherently atheist. So you demonize all of your connections beyond the physical reality by subconsciously and consciously, while watching these and agreeing with these TV shows, when you demonize the religion. And then they tell you, oh, well, not only does religion hold back innovation, technological innovation, but it also is extreme and it will kill you. It will have people flying planes into buildings. So, to escape that program, the new age good guy that's being played are these channelers, these gurus, these new age programs being head up on the mainstream side by Oprah, and on the underground side, just like Flat Earth has its YouTube people who are doing its thing, who are doing their thing. The new age also has the people who are doing their own thing, and people like Teal Swan and Ralph Smart and all the other mainstream new age people. Their design is to maintain like a comfort zone. And like I said, these individuals might not know that this is where they fit in this program, because their focus is on doing something good, providing like a good service for people. But if you just consume yourself with one version of reality, then you won't see that you're part of a bigger picture. So this is the new age is the escape mechanism from the self-destructive and overtly human destructive world of politics and all that other stuff. So it just welcomes you with open arms and says, oh, come into here. Come into the inner space. Be here with us. Be happy. Stay positive. Stay focused on your inner reality. Do all of this, and everything will be okay. Don't worry about other people who are out there being bombed. Don't worry about the colonial program. Don't worry about Planned Parenthood being in 80% of so-called minority neighborhoods. Don't worry about all that stuff. Stay comfortable. Stay soaking up that good-ass prana. And do that forever. Don't ever empower yourself to challenge the system. Don't. Because it's about you. And only you. And that's how we are unified and one with each other, by staying in our bubble. That's what this is. Stay positive. Stay in your fucking bubble. It's the inner standing program. Don't react to anything. Never take any action. Don't change any of this stuff that's going on in the world, because that's their problem. You have your own problems. You just need to stay positive. You just need to study all this new age stuff and channel your information. Channel it into revealing, hoping that the system finally releases this information. Just keep doing that, and everything will be okay. This is a program set up by the system to make you dormant, to expand the slave program from destruction to the idea of creation and positivity, from the so-called negative to the idea of positive. And when you got Oprah selling you Eckhart Tolle and your Super Soul Sunday and Deepak Chopra, you have to realize that this is a system. Just imagine if Oprah invited Ralph Smart or Teal Swan. These people would be all over that shit. Why? Because she's already had Eckhart Tolle on there. And they'll play the role. Yeah, it's really about just staying in your power, staying positive, stay in the vortex, stay in your bubble, and just be the best person you can be. Be the I am presence. Zombification. So you're zombified in the day with prescription drug mentalities, zombified by distraction and the animalistic mentality. You're distracted and dulled out by that. Now you're being dulled out by the positive energies. Meanwhile, they just continue to expand the good guy, bad guy program around your lack of action, your lack of empowering yourself. So like I said, with the with the science and the religion, because they still believe in the heliocentric model and the science and as the innovation. So you still have the bad guys are the religions in reference to the mainstream scientism community, and they're telling you that we can't innovate anymore because you still have these Christians in the White House who are stopping legislature for us to go explore the cosmos. This is what Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying when he gets into his emotional rant on Bill Maher and all that stuff. He's saying that we can't do things because you have these religious people who are still making legislature based upon their religious program, their religious whatevers, that won't allow us to go to Mars. That's how deep this fucking program is. It's so damn intricate. So you have NASA and you have your kids like clapping and like celebrating, worshiping SpaceX and Elon Musk and Tesla and all this shit. And Hollywood, it should make you believe in it. And then the old school community is sold by Oprah. So this is how you get the old heads who are, some of them are largely still, this is why she co-opts the church and these pastors, because she's got to get the older community and these people get the younger community. And that's how you sell the future. The artificial new age future. You get YouTube and Netflix to suck the people of the younger generation into the new age, and then you get people like Oprah and Deepak Chopra and all these pastors to do it with the older community. And then you have people like Abraham Hicks, the channelers. They do the same thing. They lock you into the vortex until you begin to resonate with the energy of the vortex. You begin to resonate with the trust of the vortex. You begin to resonate with the good feelingness of the vortex. And then you have Cryon, who's speaking at the United Nations, and he's telling you that it's about connecting with humanity, the I am presence. What the fuck is going on here? This shit is bullshit. So all of this garbage that's being played is to suck you in to the so-called future reality, to suck you into a program. The flat earth is a part of it. The new age is a part of it. The conspiracy theories are a part of it. The aggressive progressives, Donald Trump, all this shit is one big ass storyline. And as long as we keep externalizing our focus into the system, the story, the movie, and don't challenge the movie theater, and don't understand who we are, the experiencers, don't connect with our ancestors, don't connect with our real power and our real connections, don't connect with nature. When we don't do that shit, we're just going to be subjecting ourselves to another movie theater. So if you've just been watching actions and dramas and military movies for the last however many decades, now you're just going to be able to watch some new age Oprah movie, some new age channeler movie, or alien movie, whatever it is, however they want to play it. Doesn't matter. You'll still be disempowered and distracted. So that's basically what I wanted to share with this video, to expand upon the importance of understanding how the system overall affects us and this bad guy, good guy, bad guy programming. So thank you for joining me. And until next time, from all my relations, before I go, I want to thank everybody again for the support, the ongoing support of this channel. I really do appreciate that, because there's not many people that I can share this information with. Like, I don't have many friends that I can even talk about regular stuff or whatever even that means. A lot of even my friends that are that used to be close are not close anymore because they might feel uncomfortable. And I'm still the same person. I just have different ways of perceiving my reality. And yeah, I do get a lot of support. I want to thank you, you guys, for the support, the ongoing support. I do appreciate that. So until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.